Varrock Saurfang. The name alone commands respect. An orc so old he's fought in every war that mattered, and survived them all. He's not a god, a demigod, or some chosen one. He's just a soldier who carried the weight of the Horde's honour longer than anyone else ever could. Today we're going to be talking about the tragedy and triumph of Saurfang, the warrior who lived too long, wanting to die in battle but was just too good. His greatest burden wasn't losing his life, but living long enough to see his ideals crumble. So Saurfang's story starts long before Azeroth's heroes ever set foot in Orgrimmar. He was there during the First War, an orcish warrior under Blackhand's banner fighting for a horde twisted by demonic corruption. He drank the blood of Manaroth, like many of his kin, but it's important to note, Saurfang never took glory in it. Even in those days before Thrall and the Orcs' redemption, there was something different about him. Now of course then the Second War, Saurfang fought under Doomhammer, and later, when the Dark Portal fell, he found himself just surviving again, but haunted by what he had done. The massacres, the innocence, and the dishonour. By the time Thrall rebuilt the Horde, Saurfang became something rare amongst orcs. A philosopher of war. He wasn't just strong, he was wise. And my favourite WoW line from him says it best. Honour, young heroes. No matter how dire the battle, never forsake it. This was an orc who understood the cost of victory. Someone who had seen that strength without honour was not strength at all. It was madness. So we'll fast forward to Northrend, where the Horde and the Alliance prepare to assault Icecrown. And among the orcs stands Saurfang's son, Dranosh Saurfang. He is the pride of the Horde, leading the vanguard at the Wrathgate. And you guys know what happens next. The plague, the betrayal, the horror. Dranosh falls, and his father is forced to face the ultimate pain. Losing his son, not in peace, but in war, and then reanimated as a Death Knight under the Lich King's control. Now I'm showing the Wrathgate cinematic here, as Saurfang himself said, "My son died at the Wrathgate. I'm just here to collect the body." In my opinion, it is one of the most gut-wrenching storylines in WoW history. When Saurfang faces his son's corpse in Icecrown, he doesn't rage or blame, he simply accepts. It's quiet, simple, and it is one of those moments that reminds you, beneath all of the chaos and the raids and the loot, there's actually real humanity in these stories. And this grief shapes everything Saurfang becomes next. He's not fighting for vengeance, he is fighting for meaning. And that evolves into wanting to fight to die an honourable death. Now by the time we reach Cataclysm and Mop, Saurfang is already a legend. He's seen Garrosh rise, watched the Horde change, and yet he remains the same. Stoic, unbending, quietly disgusted by what the Horde keeps becoming. And during Garrosh's reign, Saurfang steps back. Some call it cowardice, but it's more like heartbreak. He knows what happens when a war chief loses his honour. He's seen it before. Now when Garrosh falls, Saurfang doesn't gloat. He doesn't rise to take command. He simply continues to fight for what's left. Because Saurfang isn't interested in glory, he's interested in preserving the Horde's soul, if nothing else. And then comes BFA, where everything Saurfang ever believed in is tested. The War of Thorns begins. Sylvanas orders the burning of Teldrassil, the genocide that will forever mark her legacy. And Saurfang? He's there. He fights for the Horde, but when the flames rise, you can see it in his face. That spark of disgust, of loss, and realization. This was not the Horde he fought for. It wasn't honourable. He was then captured by the Alliance, but Saurfang refused to escape, because in his mind, this was going to be the end. The warrior's death had been denied for decades, but fate denies him yet again. And then came one of my favourite cinematics. Anduin Rin, his enemy's son, comes to speak with him, and the two of them share one of the most mature and poetic exchanges Blizzard has ever written. Two soldiers from opposite sides, both tired of blood. Anduin asks why he wants to die, and Saurfang simply says, "I have lived many lives, young king, and I have lost many wars." Now it's important to note that he isn't despairing, he is understanding. And he knows that dying doesn't fix anything, but living dishonourably is worse than death. Now when the final confrontation comes, Saurfang challenges Sylvanas, knowing full well that she will kill him. But he stands before her, blade in hand, and says, "You want to make me suffer." And she does. And with that, he dies on his feet, having done what he always wanted. Not just die in battle, but to die for something worth dying for. Now his death wasn't just another cinematic. It was a cultural reset for the Horde. His fall united the factions, inspired the next generation, and gave players something that they hadn't felt in years. Respect for what the Horde actually stood for. And this was one of the most incredible cinematics I'd ever watched, and I was genuinely moved by the entire thing. This orc was not a prophet, or a messiah, or a plot twist, or some other concoction Blizzard had created. He was just an orc who held the line when everyone else let go. Anduin mourned him, Thrall returned because of him, and the Horde changed because of him. His death was not just honourable, it was almost necessary, because sometimes it takes the fall of a true warrior to remind everyone else what honour actually means. So, Saurfang didn't die a legend because he won, he died a legend because he refused to lose himself. In a world full of cosmic gods, death realms and retcons, Saurfang's story remains one of the last truly real tales in Warcraft. He represents the spirit of the Horde, the one built on strength, respect and unity, not just conquest or corruption. And the orc who wanted to die in battle didn't just get his wish, he got his peace. Thank you so much for watching. This one was a bit of a heavy one, but I really loved making it, as Saurfang has a really special place in my heart. Thank you so much for watching, and please do have a lovely day.